Great.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's Friday.
Yeah.
And it's nice out.
Oh, it's very nice out.
It's hard to have a Friday that's nice out in Rochester, New York.
It's very hard. Yes. it's all too infrequent.
It's very infrequent.
Yes.
But there's something about when you have nice weather and it's a Friday, it's an amazing thing.
It's hell, depression, and then it's heaven.
Yeah. For 6-7 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At least that's what.
It's a long-standing winter. And you know what else is long-standing, Jeff?
Yeah.
Your company.
Oh, that's a great segue. It is long-standing.
I mean,
fact,
1944.
1944.
So, guys, this is Jeff Skuse, gym buddy, great business, third generation, Marshall boxes. It's one of those, like, quote unquote, what's hot right now is boring businesses, right? That, like, you just don't think about.
Yeah.
It's just, and I don't know, that's what I'm going to ask you, recession proof, all the different cycles that your family's seen year after year. How many times you probably had to reinvent yourself with
Yes.
the Kodaks leaving and the Xeroxes, and then you got to go and like constantly find the next thing and find your next client, and it's just all that. And that's why I'm excited to talk to you, and also excited just to hear your point of view. I think it's really interesting. Third generation, I'm first generation, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that's crazy to me is like you always see, that second generation, like usually, what is it, 60% of the time loses it.
Yeah.
And then the third, it's gone for sure. Like it's not going to last.
Right.
The third. So I wonder what teachings your grandfather and your father gave to you to kind of keep this going. Cause I know that there must've been something, but anyway, before all that.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm on top of the world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you get a workout in yet?
I ran yesterday afternoon. I ran.
Okay,
yes, about 1.25 miles.
That's good.
That's a win.
That's a nice run.
Yeah, it's a nice run.
That's a nice run. I just had my vasectomy.
Really?
Yeah. Last Friday. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your family, your
Thank
beautiful
you.
family.
Thank you.
And
Same to you.
Yeah, thanks.
We have completed our family.
Yeah.
And so
Great.
You know what's interesting? I got this. Somebody said, and again, women. You've seen when women give birth, it's out of control.
I have.
Yeah.
Up close and personal.
Yeah, me too. And
it's wild.
It's wild.
It's wild.
It's
man.
unbelievable. And you go, wow, you're awesome. And you're just like, yeah, this is insane. Like you are, it's like the most caveman thing ever.
It is.
And it's incredible. It's incredible.
And then they do it again.
And
sometimes again and again.
Which is out of control. And then I just go, if this is the one little thing I can do, I'll do it. Because, then you got to add in all the years that they've been putting chemicals in their body to for birth control and everything. So I'm like, I can do this.
Women quietly endure so much that men do not.
Right.
Quite honestly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So Marshall boxes.
Yes.
Your grandfather comes back from World War II?
Yes.
Okay. So he comes back from World War II. Did you guys always live in Rochester?
Yes. Kind of smaller towns outside of Rochester. And then my grandfather Sherman lived in the city of Rochester, kind of the northwest part of the city. When he returned from serving in the Army for 3 years, his first business was cosmetics. So he did cosmetics, beauty supply sales, and he loved it because he was making good money. Many people that served, they came back and wanted stability and secure jobs and, to prosper. And he was dead set on selling cosmetics, and he was dead set on going out to LA, and he thought that would be fertile ground for selling. He wanted to start his own cosmetics business. And a childhood friend of his asked him for help with Marshall boxes because he was having some money problems. And he said, you're a pretty savvy guy, pretty smart guy. Can you help me out here? And what started out as sort of a employment and consulting, and he became the owner. So
he actually, Marshall boxes was somebody else's name. Obviously, that's
Marshall was someone else's name. Yes,
but they just kept it going.
They kept it going. Funny. Yes, because of branding, right?
Sure,
that's what
why
people
change
know
it at this point?
Yep.
Were you always on Lexington?
We were on Norman Street, which was one over, and we've been on Lexington since 1953.
Okay.
So
1944-ish.
Yep.
Grandfather goes in there.
Yep.
what?
He started in 47.
47.
Yeah.
Okay, but the company was around since 44.
Yes.
And so what? So that starts going, and then
Yep.
what are they like? Who are they working with? What is the company? So what was the company then, and what is the company now?
So they're working with local manufacturers. It's not that different now, in fact. And I don't know all the customers at that point in time, but it's, wooden crates, wooden boxes, pallets and boxes.
Yeah.
Right. So a pallet is the base of a crate, and a crate is the 6-sided structure but people say it interchangeably, but a crate is a box.
Of course.
Yeah.
What is the today? Who like, is it still manufacturing?
It's
heavy?
manufacturing. Yes, it's heavy manufacturing.
And you're custom creating these boxes?
Yes, large, heavy, expensive, fragile equipment, large components that go into equipment, large custom machinery that needs to be shipped. You go to the UPS store, you go to the post office, you put something in a small corrugated box, you ship it out to a friend or family member. Well, it's the same concept, but it's large and heavy. And you have to consider oftentimes fragile components inside the machines, and it's pretty delicate sometimes and heavy.
Yeah, I think, and tell me if I'm wrong.
I will tell you right away.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Thank you. I believe it's almost like when companies, like these manufacturing companies, like I was just walking, I have a listing because I'm a broker, commercial broker as well. But
a very talented one.
Thank you. One of the best. No. I have a listing on Pixley, 100 Pixley, and 84,000 square feet. They have tons of machines. Would you box that type of stuff up?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they're large, like kind of the size of this room.
Yes.
Type of thing. Yeah. Exactly.
And so let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So many of these manufacturing in the Northeast have moved away.
Yes and no.
Okay.
A lot of the familiar companies have dwindled in size. Xerox, Kodak, Bausch & Lomb. But there's manufacturing that's moving here that makes the news maybe subtly. But, when we were growing up, it was Kodak, Xerox,
right.
B&L. But there is manufacturing around in the Rochester area, Western New York, across New York State, across New England, the Midwest. It's there.
It's just not probably just so centralized. Now it's more scattered out.
It's not so centralized. I mean, Rochester was like Detroit in that we had huge industries and small businesses. We had Kodak and Xerox as people's, big slice of their sales pie. And then when those companies pretty much went away, essentially, you could see the ship sinking, if you will, but you could see it coming, and you had to prepare for that. So, yeah, I mean, for decades, small businesses, Kodak was probably 35 to 50% of their revenue for dozens of businesses.
What was that for you?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what happens? What is the pipot? What's your grandfather? What's your father do? Do you remember those conversations? Do you remember were you at the company like 2008?
Monday will be my 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So the bubble.
Because that's where you learn the most. That's why I'm asking the questions of like the tough ones.
Yeah.
Because that's where you learn all right, what are we made of? Because
right.
Yes, we've been riding this roller coaster of real estate. I didn't live through any recessions. So I think there's a lot to learn from people who've seen it or have heard from their parents or their family. Here's what we did. Here's what we had to here's what we had to do to survive.
Yeah, you have to endure, and you have to be malleable. You have to deal with whatever gets thrown at you. That's the constant. The change will happen. It's always going to be a dynamic environment. There will always be booms and busts, every 8, 9, 10 years. The recession was bad. I mean, that was tough for us. COVID was not tough for us. I mean, it was tough for a lot of people, and obviously health first and foremost.
Sure.
For us, it was a boon because there was a spike in demand for medical equipment.
Right.
And they needed crates to ship that medical equipment all over the world.
Right.
So that was quite a good thing as a business. So our sales increased 2020, 21, 22, 23. There's a lot of uncertainty now, labor issues, still supply chain issues, cost pressures that geopolitical tensions and things that are affecting business now, but it's still pretty steady, but it's not booming. I mean, it might be for some people who, it depends on whose customers have what product line and what the demand is and that kind of thing.
What's your day look like?
It's a great question. My day mostly involves around sales and marketing. Typically I'll be at the shop Monday, Tuesday, and then I'll be on the road Wednesday, Thursday, visiting current customers and prospective customers.
Really?
Yes.
So you're on the road.
I'm on the road.
Wow.
Yes.
Respect.
Yep. Thank you.
So you're checking in with your clients.
Yes. Yep. Checking in with clients. I made it a point to create a system that defined how the company operates. And so my team runs the company based on the system that we all agree would be most beneficial for our customers and for us. And I've taken myself out of operations. That was a goal for me. Yeah.
To focus on the toughest thing typically, which is selling.
Yeah, selling and any other thing that might come up, just so I could have some flexibility in my day. I want the company to be defined with a series of processes and systems. I want it to be structured in a way that it goes through that system and not through me.
They don't need you.
They don't need me there at all.
That's great.
They don't need me there at all. Yeah. Arguably it works better when I'm not there sometimes.
Was it? What was the light bulb that made you go, I need to? Because one of the things that I can see happening for like a third generation, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Is there's a lot of you might have like a lot of confidence coming in, and then you're like, oh, I actually don't know what I'm doing. But that's like, if I'm a parent, right? If I'm your dad, right? I'm thinking about Marty Jr. I'm like, all right, like you start at the bottom.
Yep.
Right. And then you kind of work your way up into the office and those types of things. But you want to see all the things, you want to see how the sausage is made.
Right.
But I can see at times where, like, just because your name is on, it's been in the family, you come in thinking you know a lot and you actually don't know a lot at all.
Yeah.
And that can be hard.
Oh yeah.
And there's like it might, like, you go, man, I'm not doing this right. And all of a sudden you kind of take a couple steps down, and then because then you go, all right, I needed to change my mindset on that. I didn't know everything, and I needed to, actually not be the person that tries to take everything, and I'm the one that can, delegate in a proper way and an effective way as a leader. Is that resonate at all?
Very much so. That's exactly right. That's exactly how I think. It depends on what kind of person you are, what kind of values you have, what your personality is. I mean, some people want to be owner operators and they want to do it their way and it's the best way. They want to supervise, they want to do quality control, they want to build, they want to fix, they want to do it all. And that is not, to me, a definition of a best practice in a business. If you look at Robert Kiyosaki's, what is it?
Cash flow quadrant?
Cash flow quadrant, right. You have employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. And I want to be the business owner one, because the machine should run itself. The place should operate itself, because you empower people, you delegate jobs to people that want to do those jobs and let them do it. And don't bother them. You've already hired them to do the job. But there's accountability baked into the whole system. So that's how the whole thing works.
It sounds easy, but it's very hard.
Well, it took years and years to cultivate, but it depends how much you want to tolerate. Like, do you want to run it yourself, or do you want other people to run it? If you have a good team, that's great leverage for me, because maybe I need to take my son to an appointment or something, and I do afford everybody at my company a lot of flexibility, because family will obviously come first for everybody. But the pulling myself out of operations allows me to focus on sales and business development, which is the highest and best use of my role. my purpose at the company, other than keeping people safe, treating them well, paying them well, hopefully, right? So yeah, it's win-win when you do it that way. I stay out of people's hair and I go out and get business for the company, which benefits everybody, etc.
Did you learn from your father that what type of owner was he? Someone who kind of wanted the control of everything and it was hard to delegate? So you go, I'm not going to do it that way. Or what were the lessons you learned from him?
He is a very disciplined man. He's almost like military discipline. And I am more of a humorous, casual type kind of guy.
Yes, I would
say that's
right.
Loosey-goosey kind of guy. Yeah. But he's the most thorough, disciplined person I've ever known. And no engineer is more detail-oriented than him in any capacity that, at least with Marshall boxes.
Is he an engineer?
He's not an engineer by trade, but he is. He's very good. He's very thorough. So I learned that from him, and you better be kind of anal retentive, OCD with your prints, with your specs, with your cut sheets, and everything matters. You better watch it. So I'm it's important. It's important. The last thing you touch on one of our products is the first thing the customer sees. So if a stamp isn't on right, or a stencil isn't on right, or there's a nail sticking out, well, they're going to just focus on that nail that just cut them. You could have made a really great custom crate for them that will solve all their logistics issues, the best value you can give them. If a nail cuts somebody, they will never forget it. So it's just the quality control has to be airtight.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it's one of those where how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that comes into play.
Yeah.
With just that's your product, so it better be, it better shine, because again, it's kind of it's one of those customer service. Obviously, I'm sure huge, big, all these things, but it does come down to it is a commodity. You can kind of go, hey, who's going to give me the best price on things?
Yes.
And it's but at the end of the day, I trust these guys. They're going to give me the right product.
Yes.
You're not always going to be the least expensive.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you're going to be, I'm the one you can count on.
I would agree. That's what our brand reflects. Yes.
Same with us at Suplex Construction.
Super.
Hey, we're never going to be the most cheap. We just won't. Yeah. And but I wish you good luck anytime, and I'll refer you to other people that I think that could do it. We just do something differently, and it's something that you can count on, and we're going to be there if there was something wrong, and we'd be the first to admit it.
So expound on that. Your values for Suplex. What are those values, and why are they your values for your business?
I think number one is communication. It's just being overly communicative with our clients and letting them know everything, every step of the way. I think one of the things that's missing is a high level of customer service. I just see it constantly where, you're not sure when the people are starting, or you're not sure where are we in the process. Matt is so good, my partner, at being overly communicative and maybe sharing things where I'm but it's the way to do it, because that builds the most trust. He says what he means, and he means what he says. Absolutely.
Even if there's a cringe at
times, and even if you go, maybe they didn't really need to know that, but it just shows our authenticity. Yeah. And I think just being authentic, but I think, again, we're not texters, we're callers. I mean,
I love that.
Call.
Yeah.
You got to call.
Yeah.
And
it's a lost art, but it's so simple and so powerful.
It's huge.
And the person who answers the phone appreciates it.
Even on birthdays. I'm the caller. I'll make the call on birthdays.
I even was texting you before here, and I look at my text. I'm like, man, I sound like a freaking robot. It's like,
there's times where you need to use it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, on important, real.
Yes.
You got to make the call.
And sometimes if something might go sideways, unfortunately, calling sooner than later, acknowledging what happened and saying how you're going to fix it right away is huge, because everybody makes mistakes, and it's how you handle it.
Yeah, and that's it. It's when there is a mistake and they happen.
Yeah.
And again, so basically your question about the values of Suplex, it's really the values of a partner, because all of our clients are partners, all of our employees are partners, and it looks like this: we don't keep score. So, like when I think about a partnership, when I think about a client or an employee, like I'm not keeping score in the fact that like, hey, what I did today, you know, or I'm looking, what have you done for me lately, type of thing. I'm going to trust the fact that maybe today wasn't your best day, or hey, this was an amazing day, and I'm going to let you know. But we don't keep score. We have a very high pain tolerance. So very high emotional, mental pain tolerance, which I think you need to have as a business owner.
Yeah,
I don't expect that from my employees all the time, but you want them to be a little bit okay with having things not go right.
Right.
We're in the construction business.
Yeah.
It doesn't go right.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to be malleable and adapt to those things.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with partnerships, and it's the same thing with, you know, and I think when you let a client know, hey, we opened the wall, we talked about this, we weren't sure what was going to be behind that.
Yep.
Here's the deal, but here's the good news. We're going to fix it. We know how to do it. And they're like, okay, phew. You know, you got to let them know.
Yeah.
Because everything is a question mark when you're in construction. But I think those, you know, being overly communicative, even when you don't want to, that's when you got to do it the most. High pain tolerance, and then just not keeping score. That's more of so between my partner and I not keeping score.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
everybody has their own little things that they do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but what about, tell me about Marshall.
I think our values boil down to the word integrity, which means do what you say you're going to do. So it means follow through on your promises, and it also means structural integrity. You know, is the box going to fall apart? No, it's not, because I know how it's built. I know the weight of the item that goes in there, and I know that the rigorous journey of the logistics process internationally is very, it's rough.
Sure.
It's very rough. So you have to build packaging that accommodates that.
Do you do a lot of international?
Our customers ship all over the world. So our boxes go all over the world.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you guys, like, for, I would assume one of the most expensive things in your company is the wood.
It is. Yeah.
Really? Because I know it's been crazy with,
Yeah.
at least 2 years ago, maybe it was a year and a half ago, when we were just for like for roofing material, like when we were doing, or like all the stuff that we use for our material, it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you just, is part of your job or part of somebody's job at your company constantly looking at just where can we source this stuff?
Yeah. We have about a half dozen traders who we buy from. So a trader will source it from the mill, bundle it with freight, and then sell it as a delivered price to us. We do it with plywood and with lumber.
Does it constantly fluctuate, like every day, the pricing?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, every few days, if not every day. And during COVID, we had to call customers almost every day, every other day, because it just kept rising and rising and rising. And customers were completely super patient with us because people were at home or they were bored and doing home projects. So they'd go to Lowe's. They could see that lumber kept going up. So they knew what was going on.
Right.
And so they were amenable to that, fortunately. So we just had to cover our costs, and, you know, maybe there's some margin compression as we raise the cost, but, you know, we got to kind of share in the pain. You know, you do the best. If you do the best for your customer, it may not be a short-term win, but you'll win out long-term.
Which makes sense.
That's a guiding principle.
Yeah, you've been around for whatever.
That's a guiding
75 years, 80 years.
That's a guiding principle. Like it's a habit. You might not want to do it, but if you'd say what would be best for the customer, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do it, and you get rewarded eventually, or sooner rather than later.
You always do, because there's a referral that comes from it.
Yeah.
Right. There's we just got this big, bid. We just won.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be.
Yep.
And I think there's just a greater force, a greater dimension that's bigger than us that accounts for that. Truly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So you're in sales. What does the sales process look like? What's the sales cycle look like? You're talking to a new business. Do they make a decision that day when you're there? Is it a month?
It's a long process. It's a very long process, because to switch packaging suppliers, you need either a new buyer needs to come in, or sometimes a new shipping receiving manager. The current supplier has to mess up pretty significantly, or they give a price increase that is not does not seem reasonable. So then people go out to bid. But if things are cooking along nicely and people like the price they're getting for their packaging and the customer service, on-time delivery, high quality, they're very reluctant to switch. My customers are very reluctant to switch. I have great customers that really love what we do for them, and they share it with me. That's my favorite part of the business. And I want to serve New York State manufacturers the best I can. If someone needs help, I want to help them. If somebody is being helped, I don't pry it out of their hands. I'm not like a natural salesperson. I should definitely talk to you about that. But yeah, it's about visiting them where they are. Sometimes just walking in the shipping receiving area.
Will you walk in cold?
I walked in during COVID. I got large customers that way.
Really?
You're not supposed to do that. And now I'm on video acknowledging that. I hope there's some immunity there. Maybe
I'm
not.
Sure.
But yeah, you walk in and, you're supposed to like check in, get the heat, get the temperature read and get a name tag and get a mask. Yeah, no.
Well, you have to fight for your company.
Yeah, you got to fight for your company. But like, nobody's punched me yet. Nobody's even yelled at me yet. And when I walk in, people are super friendly. So that's big. I mean, you gotta like emails are fine. Emails are good. They're necessary. Calls are important. Obviously, SEO and online marketing and social media is important. It's very effective to go visit somebody because it proves that you got out of your seat, and you prove that you're going to go talk to them and help them. They know you're a real person. And so I think that while AI is obviously increasing, will transform the business landscape and society potentially, you'll never supersede the human aspect that creates trust.
Yeah, one of the hardest things to do is walk in, right? Because there's so much self-doubt.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, it
sucks.
Right.
It sucks to just walk in.
Right.
But you just got to do it. It's like jumping in a cold pool. You just got to okay, I'm here. What are you going to tell? You're going to tell the people you say, I'm going out here. You're going to turn around and say, I didn't want to go in there. Can't really do that.
Can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah. So for people who are listening on how to get past that, the way we did it, the way it's helped us is first of all, it has to be greater than you. So if it was just for Jeff, you probably wouldn't want to do it. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't really want to do it. I don't need to do it. Yeah. But when there's the greater good of your company and your, and Jimmy and Bill and Kim at your office, I'm doing it for not me. Yep. I don't need it, but I'm doing it for us.
Yeah.
You get a sense of a warrior. And you kind of need that to
Purpose.
do a cold walk-in.
A
purpose.
Yeah.
You have to have a really strong why and why you're just going to walk in.
Yeah.
But what the beauty of a walk-in will do, and I'm talking about a cold walk-in, and maybe you've had a conversation or two with some people, and that's good. But a cold walk, it makes them have to react. It makes whoever the decision maker is, and hopefully you got them, it makes them have to actually take an action. Because the email doesn't have to, I can get to that, and maybe it's 6 months from now, maybe it's a year from now, maybe I never get to it.
Yeah.
The phone call, same kind of thing. Maybe it's, if you're on me, but it might take 7 or 8 of these calls to get me to make an action.
Yeah.
But the walk in, human nature is to at least, you want to help people. And if you can actually go, okay, this person's trying to help me. And I can save money or I can get a better product okay, now, and you're in my face, and I know you're going to come back next week. I have to take an action now.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty of the walk-in. But you have to. It's like going to the gym. The hardest weight is the door.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That first weight.
Always is. Yep. You just can't think about it.
You can't think about it.
I schedule it, and that's that.
Yep. And you walk right in.
Get it done. Yeah, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
So as again, family's been in the business for a long time. What are some of the things that you've seen that you've implemented some sales some sales stuff to the company.
Yes.
Was that a big part of the company before? Who was selling? How did it work?
It really wasn't. I kind of brought in a sales reps and started that just because, you know, manufacturing was much more substantial than it is now in terms of core, like high volume machinery. It's more disparate now. But it was just more of a target rich environment, I guess, previously. But there were ups and downs. I mean, there's always been economic cycles. But I pretty much ushered that in just because you could see the landscape shifting. You have to do it. You have to diversify or you're done.
Was it because back then they were just
happy, fat,
work there,
fat
but
and happy.
You were just taking orders.
Taking orders.
Yeah.
Taking orders. Yep.
Which is not selling.
No, not selling. That's not selling at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's retaining with great customer service.
Yeah, I'd love to be there.
Yeah, it's great.
You want to be there.
It's
a great place to be.
Yeah, but the fat and happy thing is a real issue.
Mm.
If you continue to be fed, then it degrades the will to, you know. But that comes back to purpose. You need a higher purpose of these are our goals. These are our sales goals. These are the goals as a company. Sales is one of them. You got to do it.
One of the goals for
whether you're crazy busy or you're slow.
One of the goals for me, because one of the beauties of creating a business is that it can be potentially passed down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I think that's really it's remarkable, truly.
Yeah.
Because
is that in your kind of long-term vision?
It is. And you can't do that with like what we did before, which was like house flipping. You can't really, that's not really a business that can scale, first of all. And it's not a business that can be passed down to generation to generation. Like either you have a sales skill or you don't. Like either you know how to market or you don't.
Yep.
That sounds nice. What is interesting?
Have you heard that?
No,
okay.
It's all good though.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, is there fire? What's interesting is when I'm thinking about passing it down to my kids, and they don't need to take it, but having that at least ability to take it is cool.
Yes,
right?
very cool.
What was your thought process in this? Were you like at 18, I'm going to take over the box company?
Did not.
All right, so tell me that story.
Well, I started working when I turned 18. On my 18th birthday, I started.
Okay.
And you're working in a shop. It's carpentry. It's using saws. It's assembling wood packaging with pneumatic nail guns, and it's early. You start at 6.
Are some of those guys still there?
Yes.
That's cool.
Some are still there.
That's cool.
Yes. Yep.
So they remember you as a young kid.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Were they giving you shit?
Were you
giving them shit?
No, I wasn't giving them shit. Oh man, no way.
Not these guys.
No way. I was a scrawny little guy, and
you were just kind of like, wow, this is
I just kept to myself.
Yeah,
and I wasn't really protected either.
Cool, which is good in a way.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. But there used to be like a more like rough and tough group, for sure. It was a whole different dynamic in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Different drugs of choice and different personalities and different.
Sure. Yeah. Everyone's boozing on the job.
Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah, maybe whatever else.
Yeah.
Or they have the drugs or they don't have the drugs, which I don't know which is worse. But anyway, it was a tougher lot. So it was transitioning out of that when I started working there, but 25 years ago. Then went to SU. And loved Syracuse, and I did an internship between junior and senior year at a congressional office in DC. And then I loved that, and so after graduation, my plan was to study for the GMAT and take the GMAT and do the MBA route. I paused that. I never did it, but I ended up taking another internship with a congressman. And I wanted to parlay that internship into a full-time staff position on Capitol Hill.
Wow.
And I think ultimately I wanted to work at the State Department. That's what I wanted.
Wow.
I love DC, and
Were you a
But
political science major?
I was not.
Okay.
I was a communications major.
Okay.
Yep. But I was sitting at my intern desk, and it dawned on me that here's an opportunity for me. I can take over a business and own it someday, and I can do with it what I want. And that's an incredible opportunity that nobody just gets, but for being a family member. And so I have an older brother. He took a different route professionally. And so Marshall Boxes was open for me to go in. And so I called my dad one day during my internship, and I said, "Are you open to me working with you, for you?" And we talked salary, and that was that. Yeah.
So he never like shoved it down your throat.
He didn't. It was there, and I think it was like vaguely disappointing that I wasn't enthusiastic to be there. But what did I know?
I don't
Right.
know. I'm like, what?
18, 19.
Yeah.
We're all dumb.
Yeah, we're dumb, dude, dumb.
They're real dumb.
And I'm like getting,
like 26.
You're getting to work at 5:40 a.m.
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
What is that?
Right.
No, not what. Whatever.
Yeah.
I was a soft kid. Whatever, man. Yeah. Plus, it's obviously there's drinking and whatever.
Yeah,
you can't
of
go to
course.
work the next day.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're like, dude, I was just at SU. Like, I'm on Capitol
Yeah,
Hill.
right.
Like, I'm seeing, like, these guys got cool, like, this has got real nice suits.
Yeah.
And they're got a lot of power.
Right. It's a really cool place to work.
I bet.
In hindsight, I made the right decision.
Of course.
But as you said earlier about knowing everything, I admittedly, June 1st, 2006, I did not know anything about the company, about financials or anything like that. I really didn't even know that much about business. And I learned there.
Who'd you learn from?
My dad.
Yeah.
So he was there with you,
Yeah.
going over how to, maybe,
Yes.
hey, if this is something you really want, here's how
So
we run.
So in college, I worked in the shop, and I learned how to read prints and build sub-assemblies and final assemblies and all of that, run a forklift and machinery and that. When I came back from college after DC, it was in the office exclusively. So he just showed me everything from day one and was sort of trying to get me prepared to be a business owner one day. So he retired I took over in 2018. So he I've been the functional president since probably 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up here.
Yeah.
We had a few alarms go off while we were going.
We
so
did.
We'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
You got a great TV face, man.
Yeah. Look at that head jawline.
Thanks, man. I'm not going to mess with you either. You're a strong dude.
Yeah, you're a strong.
You're a well-built guy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're doing okay.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
We're all
I'm
right.
getting there.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Last thing, is there, when you think about Marshall Boxes, where do you see it in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
Well, I hope we're serving more New York State manufacturers. I hope we expand our customer base. And I want a company that is exemplary at what we do. And I want, our reputation to be as good or better as it was under my dad and under my grandfather. What does that look like? Whether we expand out of our building is to be determined, but maybe that means another location. Maybe that means stay in the same location. Not sure.
Just excellence. Just continue to do things at a high level.
Yes. Do the very best you can. Do things at a high level. Yeah. That's my goal.
Jeff Skuse, everybody. Marshall Boxes, a
you.
fantastic company, long-standing Rochester company.
Yes.
If you're a manufacturer or really any company that is in need of boxes, pallets, you can go to their website and you can request a quote right from there. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Jeff?
that's right.
Jeff, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
That's it, boys.
All
and
right.
girls. Take care. I love you. Bye-bye.